if I get into office on May 24th or when, as my team says, and we're in there, and I become Minister of Education by September, I want to make sure that every year 11 that's going to be graduating in June of the next year, that we have some literacy programs in place right away, because I don't want to see 25% or more of a graduating class ever again graduating and not knowing how to read. We are failing these people, and they are our people, and if they can't, they're going to survive one way or the other, and eventually it's going to affect us. So that's one of my main concerns. It breaks my heart that is something that we can be comfortable with our big fancy schools, our $150 million that we're spending on schools and on buildings, and the $300 million we're talking about for a port, and beautiful roads. Linford Pearson is all looking great, but we're graduating people that can't read or write. That's sad. I think we are doing them such a disservice. I don't even know if disservice is such a small word. It needs to be such a stronger word, but I'm at a loss for words right now. But I believe that we are being very disrespectful and dishonoring of them and all that they have given to us, because we can't stand here and stand where we are without them. And I feel like, how dare us forget them? And how dare us act as if their value is no more? And I think that we as a country need to find ways to weave them back into the fabric of our lives and allow them to continue to thrive and live in their own lives in a second part of their life. I had the opportunity when I published the book in 2009 to travel a lot. And I went to one place in particular, and it was California. And it breathed a new life into me, because I met people that were 60, 70, and up, ladies that were living their second and third life. And I was so inspired, because they thought I was a kid. I can come out, I'm old, right? Because so many people are my daughters and my son's age. But in California, for some reason, I was meeting 55-year-olds and 65-year-olds, and like, oh my God, you're a kid. But they were living their second lives, they're living their second careers, their third careers, and I was just so inspired by that. And it made me think of QandA and how we age here so differently, and how we age and almost feel like we're nothing anymore. We feel like, what are we living for? Are we waiting for what? And so I came back home and I put fire under my own mother, like, come on, get up, you gotta get moving, you gotta live your life. I was raised, along with my mother, by an old woman. She was 61 by the time I was born. And so I loved old people my whole life. They're who took care of me. They're who gave me, so much of who I am. And I think that we need to start honoring them, respecting them. We need to provide things for them so that they can live their second lives in dignity, and they can enjoy themselves just like us. I considered running with a party, but I just couldn't believe in the parties enough. So there was one that I knew I was not going to be a part of, for sure. And then I had considered another one, the lesser of the evils. And I think I just made a decision that I don't want to be a part of a system where I have to say yes just because someone says I have to say yes. And that's what it looked like to me, because I started to have conversations with a party. And I want to be an independent thinking person, because I want to represent the people, and I want to be able, win, lose, or draw, I want to be able to say what I believe. I want to be able to stand for what I believe, and I don't think you can do it in the parties. And the parties are about numbers, and I'm not interested in numbers, because we're not numbers, we're not statistics, we are people. And do we deserve our needs to be foremost? And we deserve someone to advocate for all of us, and we don't deserve to just not even be considered as people.
Why did you choose to run for Georgetown South?
Well, so I live in Newlands, but my upbringing was on Walker's Road. My sign is right next to my grandmother's house, right above the window that I slept in as a little girl that they took home from the hospital, and I lived in that house. I ran that road. I got mangoes on that road. I climbed almond trees. Couldn't get back down. My brother had to get me down out of it because I can climb and I can't come back down. He's there. But I'm a good climber, you know. I can get straight to the top. But for some reason, when I get up there, I get scared to come back down. She had a huge almond tree right next to her window. So Georgetown South is a part of my upbringing. And I spent a lot of time on this road, Smith-Bacadere. And, you know, Miss Jerry McTaggart down the street, Miss Mary Thompson up the street. So all of this is my stomping ground. So it was just natural. When I thought I would run, it would be in Georgetown South. I want to start a new trend of involving the voters in the decision-making of their country. I'm not sure, I don't know the dynamics of the Legislative Assembly. I don't know the dynamics of being an MLA. So I don't know if there's something you sign that says you can't talk to people. I don't know anything about that. But if there's not something that I don't have to sign, I want very much to involve my constituency in all decision making. I think that we don't need to just show up every 4 years and smile with you and act like we really like you just to get your vote and then we forget about you. I think that every single thing in this country affects us. For instance, all of us now, we cannot go to the public beach in West Bay the way we used to. We can't just pull up like we used to before, and you know, we now, I mean, sure, it's a park and it's all this stuff that was shown to us how it's so much perfect, you know, how it'd be so much more perfect than it was. But the fact of the matter is we all suffer the consequences or we all benefit. So why shouldn't we all be involved with the decision making? That decision, a decision like that should not have been made without information to every single constituent. It's a part of our culture, it's something that we hold very dear, and it changed a part of us. It changed our natural, what we were naturally accustomed to. And for that to have happened, and people had no idea it was going to happen, is one of the examples that I feel needs to stop. There needs to be collaboration. So unless there's something I have to sign, I will be, you know, letting my constituents know. What I want to do is have regular MLA meetings. I want to have regular meetings with my constituency. And I'm going to be realistic about it. So it might not be every week, every month, but it's going to be maybe every 4 months, every quarter, whatever. And I want to have representatives in that constituency so that the residents are represented and the information is there. Maybe a newsletter, something. There has to be something in order for us to be communicating constantly with our constituencies. So, and I'm hoping that I make the other ones feel so bad that they do the same thing. That they feel guilt like, yo, they're doing that again. Try to do the little newsletter, you know? Like I hope I used to do that in social services. I used to make the social workers feel so bad that they just had to do what I was doing because the director was like, you see what she's doing? No, I'm not doing that. And they were like, well, you don't stop, sit down. But they had to do stuff, so it was good. So I'm hoping I make them feel that because my constituents are going to be so happy. We're going to be doing all kinds of good stuff. And they'll have to do things, you know. Like we were talking about this center. Why is this center not being used once a month for something for the young people? Or something for the senior citizens? Or something? Why is it that, you know, October, the month of October is the month of seniors or something? Why aren't seniors, why don't they have something once a month? Why don't we have something once a month for our teenagers? Why are we not doing things with some of these resources? So I'd like to continue communicating, you know, with my constituency.
There's 16.
Oh, hang on. And what also, I will not stop rowing and fighting. So in that house, I don't care what anybody says. I am not going to back down because I've never been one to back down. And I'm going to stand up for what I believe, and I'm going to represent the people. So what information I'm getting from my public is the information I take there. So
16 women running for the first time in history of our political being. How do you feel about, and you're actually running up against one for this constituency as well, how do you feel with so many women running in this election?
I feel proud. I feel happy. I feel great. I think that for so long we have been forgotten. For so long we have been, I don't even know how to term it. I'm a woman and I'm a professional. I'm an educated professional woman, so I've worked in the profession, professional world for a while. So I see a lot of dynamics. I know a lot of struggles that women have out there. And it's sad, it saddens me, because I've sat at the table many times, and it saddens me how men behave and how they treat women. And this is not to bash men, and this is not a sob story. This is just the truth. And gentlemen that are here, I hope you open your minds and, understand. I'm speaking almost on behalf of your daughter. Just look at me like I'm speaking on behalf of your daughter, okay? Not your wife who gives you trouble or whatever, but your daughter and your sister. The women that you loved in your life, that you would fight for, and that, you don't have to deal with them telling you what time you came home and rowing and stuff, right? So just think of those people. And think of the inequality that they face. Think of the fact that your daughter has worked so hard to attain a master's degree. And the men at the table, they're not educated at all. In fact, they're ignorant, they're even foolish. And their word means more than your daughter's, who is so intellectually sound, who has so much to offer. It is absolutely unfair. And so, even though it sounds as if, it's time now for women, that's not what I'm trying to be about. I'm not trying to say, move the men out, move the women in. I'm trying to say that we need to coexist together. We bring different things to the table. I have 2 boys and a girl, and I watch them play and get along growing up. And I watch my summer camp programs, my after school programs, and I watch the way boys work and I watch the way girls work. Just this week, I watched a group of boys dragging each other across the floor. I mean, dragging, pushing and dragging and laughing. They were having the greatest time. And my 2 girls were looking like horrified that we didn't understand what that game was, but it seemed to be a good game. So they were dragging and pushing each other, and then they were playing, and it was some big situation. And the girls were looking like, what are they doing? And the girls sat down and put together a little back out of some books. And they were able to use the books, and it didn't hurt anybody. And I thought, here is an example of how women and men play sometimes. And it's okay. But if there's more collaboration between the two, we're able to make some better decisions. And so that's my aim this time. So 16 women are running, and put in half of them, and put in half the men. Throw us all in that legislative assembly, lock the doors really tight, and force us to work together. You'll see a better QandA, like right away. So I'm happy about that, and I pray that that's what happens this time around. Because this is not a boys' club. Every man in this room can attest to some woman helping their life in some way, whether it's your mother, your sister, your wife, your daughter. They bring something special. Mommies usually know everything. Daddies know some things. Daddies know what mommy tells them. Right? So that just shows you the value that women have. So I just think it's time for us to recognize that and work together for the better good of QandA.